Hello, everyone. Sargon, Destroyer of Worlds here, and thank you for joining me again for another episode of Cities Skylines. We are here in Bytown in the campus residential community we've been building the last two episodes as we have the sun begin to set. And we come across our Green Cities residential towers that we've added in to add a little extra residential capacity. And, things are looking good, but we've got more to do in this area. So we've got a few things, three things we're going to accomplish today. One is adding a little more residential. Two is expanding out our tram network. And three is adding a little healthcare center for all these citizens. So with that being said, let's get to daytime and let's get to building. So we have our bird's eye view of the area that we've been working on. You can see our three high-rise towers, our little church. Before we get started, we're going to turn on our contour lines because we are going to do our best to respect the topography. As you can see, we've got a very severe grade down here, so we won't be building out that far. But to start, we are going to come in. Actually, before I forget, we're going to turn off tree anarchy. And we are going to extend this collector. We are going to do more with that later on. But for now, we just want to have a spot where we can connect to. Now we'll use our picker tool. We'll come in and we'll use our freeform. And we're just going to stay just above this line here. And we will have the road go just a little further past this road here, but we're not going to come down and connect this road any further. We will connect this straight down, and this is our initial frame that we have here. Let's get a better view. There we go. So with that, we are going to be focusing very quickly on getting our basic infrastructure in. So I'll walk you through it, and then I will detail the rest out, I'll speed along with the rest out in a bit of a time lapse. So we are going to come in, and we'll extend that all the way down this way for now, 26 units. We will come down and use our service road. We're going to use 9 units. We'll come back again. I think this is where let's do 25 units for now. Come in and zoom in. In fact, let's get rid of some of these trees here. We'll use our forest brush and we will remove all these trees here, as well as these these terrible logs. I hate these logs on this map. They're atrocious. And I think we got everything. Yeah, we're good, at least on this side of the road. So we'll zoom in here, get rid of our forest brush. It's bitter grade, but that's fine. Come in to find it, and we are going to use eco and our low residential eco. That's the one we're looking for. Or is it? Let's get out of that. We're going to look for our townhouse. Here we go. We are looking for our modern eco townhomes. And what we're going to do is we will leave a 1 unit in between each or thereabouts. And I think that's where we'll stop. We'll do rows of 3. And we do have the other models here, so we will mirror these. Come back into our road. We'll take our drive road. Get rid of that little extra bit. Now what that provides us is just enough space in between these townhomes, although I have seen them built much closer. Now we'll use, once again, this drive road, have it centered. There we go. And that will provide a connection there. Now I'm just going to quickly replicate the same thing with slightly different pattern, put some more townhomes in this part of the community here. We're just finishing installing the parking lots. So this is quite easy to do, especially with the parking lot snapping mod, which makes this so much easier. You can see no problem lining them up. We just hop over to this side over here. And if it's stuck on the other parking lot, just hit Control X. Now I'll show you another little trick here as well. As you can see, some of these parking stalls are lines that aren't visible. So with Move It, you just click on, generally it's the node closest to where most of them aren't showing. And I usually find just page down, we'll bring it all into proper alignment, and there you go. So we have our nice little townhouse community. We'll get things going. We have the water already there. Put a little small park in here, which we'll come back and do a little detailing. And we'll be sure to connect paths up here. One thing I do want to point out is I purposely did not connect a road into this townhouse community off of this road, because we do have the school here. So I do want to keep most of that traffic that's going to come into here either coming off of this road here or coming off into this entrance here. So we'll see how that works, but we will be sure to connect some paths across so that it is easy for people who live here to get their kids to school or take advantage of the park. Now, one thing you'll notice here, things are kind of misaligned. I did move computers between this episode and the last. I have had a few issues with some of the mods and things. So I am going to come in a later episode and show a few tricks, but for now, the trees from this basketball court will be showing up on the path, but we'll at least get the basketball court off of said path. And I think that at least that part works, but we'll fix the rest up a little later. Now we may find little glitches like that as we go throughout the game, because I have used Bob, which I'll show in a later episode as well. Maybe a very specific little thing as we go do some cleanup to replace some of these trees in some of these parks. But like I say, we'll do that a little later. So the next thing we want to do here before we get into our tram line, I do want to fill this space here. Now, I don't just want to fill it up with more townhomes or any homes. I would think across from a church like this, there would be a park. So we'll come into our Parks and Plaza. We will select our large park with trees. We'll place that down. Everyone's extremely happy. And we're just going to do our best as well with Move It to see if we can get that to line up. There we go. Huh. Are we having power issues? Let's pause things here for a second. Yeah, our electricity is really, really low. So it's one of two things. Either we've had a natural disaster over at our beautiful power facility that we've made a little while ago. Oh, this happens from time to time. This is not the cause, but while we're here, let's reset this commercial building. There we go. So no, things are working. We're not getting any other power warnings from the rest of the city. So simply, I think our main culprit is our budget. So let's come into our budget. And as you can see, like our power is budget is set so low. So we'll raise that to 70%. And that should solve our problem pretty quickly. And as you see in the background, yep, all electricity woes have been solved. So let's go back and continue our build. We are going to come in here and just get our normal pavement paths. We'll go to freeform here. Because we do want that to connect there. And we'll just have some paths randomly connect as well. And we will do some things to go around this, because we're not actually going to build any homes here. We are going to make this just purely an aesthetic park. We'll do some tree detailing and a little later, probably not in this episode, because these trees will get replaced when I do a quick little bop tutorial. But let's come in and let's add in some rocks. So these are the vanilla rocks. And we are going to look to place a bunch in here. So where it makes sense that the path network goes around them. And as you can see, you got to be careful, because when you do place the rocks, it gives you all these other great little detail. But the beauty thing about this is that these rocks do merge. And I'll just double check. I actually don't have... I do have anarchy on. Let me just validate that's not an anarchy thing. Okay, so yes, that is an anarchy thing, and I'm able to merge the rocks. Otherwise, you'll just have to place them separate. And then you have to be very careful not to have any collisions and all this. So as you can see, that rock is placed there, but I can't put another one. But if I turn anarchy on, I can come in and, let's say, take this one. And there you go. So now, as I said, you have to be careful. So we will just nudge this over. What I like here with using these large rocks, and actually we'll make a little change here, is that they provide a lot of great detail. They got all this little extra detail around here. But I forgot one thing I was thinking. I would like to have it so that that church was specifically placed in that spot because it had a view right through. So if we back up a bit, yeah, I think that's pretty center. And people would be able to have seen right through here that little crevice. Now we'll come in. We'll come in with our path. You just move it just to make sure it goes around. And there we go. Now the other thing we can do to make this blend in, the little bit of vegetation that we will do, is we will take some of this vegetation and we will come in with some of these smaller rocks that we have. Now I do wish there was more of that same color tone. Yeah, these are far too big. So, but as you can see, we have some nice rock detailing there among the vegetation. So we'll come over to this side as well. We'll just do a little bit of vegetation detailing as well. And we'll just spread that out outside of the rocks that are here. And as you can see, that is a great little detailing. Oh! Somebody get fired for that. Building a road right through the rocks. So this will just take a second of adjustment. There we go. Looks pretty good. A little more vegetation here. And you can mix it up with some other vegetation as well. So that's a nice little detail that's easy to put in. It's part of the vanilla game. Obviously, the rock merging, as mentioned, it does require the Anarchy mod. At a later date, we're going to come in and make sure this blends in a lot more. But for now, I think that's a good start. And we will do some detailing over on this side as well in a quick detailing time lapse. But now let's move on to extending our tram network. If you come over here, you'll see we have our public library where we built our linear park. And we have our tram network running along the riverfront here as well. But it just continues up through the campus here. It does not currently circle around to the other side, so that's what we're going to take care of today. So this will be relatively simple to start with. So we are going to start with, we'll come in, we'll grab our 2-lane road with tram tracks. We will have to be just a little bit careful, and that's because we do have bridge pieces. So this is connected here. We will come back and stretch this out to make this look a little better and clean up the node. But as we worked on earlier, this does start become raised. So we need to make sure we force this in as a bridge piece. We bring this back down, keep this as a bridge piece. Now the advantage of the tram tracks will allow us to minimize the amount of bridge infrastructure here. So the fact that this is a tram track road. And now we can continue along here. This will then turn right up to here, and it will continue all the way up. Now that we have the tram track road all the way up to here, we need to get it connected to this intersection. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come into our landscaping tools. We will go to level terrain. We'll make the brush size a little bigger, reduce the strength a bit, right click up here, and we are going to bring out the soil this way. We'll then come in and increase the brush size, lower the strength. We'll smooth things out a bit. But now we'll just come to our slope terrain tool. We'll shrink the size of that brush a bit. Right click up here. Left click down at the height of the lowest point. And we will bring up a nice smooth path, although it looks like we might need to redo that. Because if we look here, it is just slightly off, but we'll see if we can save it. We'll just come in with our level terrain. And maybe what we'll do now from this point here down to here is where we will smooth things out. And we'll give it a nice broad turn. Perfect. Well, we'll find out if it's perfect here in a second. So we will come up to this intersection. We'll just do a short let's go 4 units. What we're going to do is come into our network multi-tool and we will click on create curve mode. Click on this road here and then this little stub. And you notice we get this beautiful curve. And I like this a lot. So we're going to hit enter. We are getting a tad bit of flooding. Should settle down. So we do want to do something special here. So I really like how this curve comes along. So the next thing we need to do is we need to connect this tram track here and this part of the network over to this part of the network here. So let's come in. I'll come into our tram roads once again, and we will do, it is our 4-lane, I believe it is. Let's double check that. Oh, make sure we get off that mode. Zoom in. Yeah, perfect. So we will just extend this along as well. And as before, we'll be careful. We need to make sure some pieces remain elevated. Come back down to the ground. Go back up. And then we can bring it back to the ground here. And we might end up splitting this up a bit, but we're going to come around, use our picker tool. We'll grab this tram track here. We will go into free mode. And we will just bring it around. And then let's come in straight. It's perfect. Well, oh my God. Well, okay, not perfect, but we'll fix that. But before we fix the tram road down or tram track down here, we'll take the picker tool and we will just reconvert that back to a normal collector road. That would be one heck of a steep tram. I don't know. Well, it's not going up, and I'm not sure it's making that turn coming down. So let's just come in with our move it tool. Let's level this out here. I think that makes everybody just a tad happier. Come around to this side. We have a small pathing issue. And a little bit of tearing. So this needs to come up, as does this. I think that's fine. I don't mind the fact that we got a bit of a dip, but let's use our network multi-tool and the set slope mode. Come all the way around here. Wow, that's a minus 13% dip. We can level that out. Smooth that out a lot more. I think that's looking a lot better. And we'll see if we can connect both the parking lot here as well as connection to the tram track here. But we got a lot of pedestrian traffic. Amazing. Well, let's pull this out and let's see if we can get a little stub instead. Okay, so I think we got that to work. We just changed these to pavement paths. So we have it connecting to this building. And you can see one of the issues, and this is going to be something we'll have to fix in our little Bob Fix-It episode with the reset. We did previously remove all these parking spaces, so we'll see that in a few spots. And I can actually think of one where we actually have some seating over at the cafeteria. Yeah, so here's another spot. We had actually removed all these parking stalls, but thankfully I don't think vehicles can get there. But this is definitely one of the glitches we've had, and we'll work on. It's not a big deal. It just might take us some time to hunt them all down, but we'll do a few of these things in a little Bob Fix-It. So speaking of Fix-It, let's continue to fix and update our tram network. Let's get a bird's eye view of our tram networks. We'll come in here, look at our tram lines. So we do have this line that's running up and around past our public library going up through the linear park. It does loop, come right back around. Well, it looks like we have another line that does that similar loop as well. So I think what we're going to do is let's delete, just to make this easy on ourselves, we're going to delete both these lines, and we will leave this as a dedicated loop up here. We will connect a tram loop, I think, going around and back out, at least for now, until we can build maybe a proper transport hub. I could see us doing one right across from the school. So let's do that. Let's come in and to our trams. Let's find our lines. So this one here, delete it, as well as this line here as well. So we'll come in and start our tram network. We'll start here. We will be putting something there. So this is going to come around, put a stop here. We will put a fairly close stop because there's that path there. We'll put one in front of the police academy. Mahoney. Might have dated it myself there again. We'll come around. I will detail out this tram about, even though it was designed to be temporary. I think we'll leave it and we'll make something of it. One there. This is where we'll come in and we will loop around before coming into our residence area. I believe that's the media lab. We will be putting something here, so we'll add a stop for now. And then we'll come in and complete the line. Now we will add one in that's counterclockwise, which is our lighter blue. And we will just complete things up here relatively quickly. Once again, just replicating all the stops. These might be a bit close. We might rethink it, but there we go. We now have a reconnected tram line. Before we forget, we'll come into our transportation, and this is campus counterclockwise, and I believe this is campus clockwise. So there's 11 stops for now. There will be more. Let's just see how many vehicles it's deciding to pump out. That might be a little too many, but we will see. Oh, wow. We're already getting some demand here. That is awesome. So they're crossing. Where are these folks crossing? So there's a crosswalk here. Man, that's busy. It's also at 3 times speed. So I think we'll put a set of traffic lights there for folks to cross if they need to. They shouldn't have to cross fully, so I actually do wonder. Let's watch. Yep, it stops on both sides. Well, it does make sense because they wouldn't know. Although the traffic lights knew that they weren't going all the way across. Otherwise, they're not designed to make it. But that's good. We already have folks looking to take our tram. We're at the spot where we are going to put a clinic. Now, I should also clarify, we're probably looking at something more than just a small community clinic, because this is actually a part of the college campus here. This is all reserved for basically the college. But as you can see, we're right here where the community we've been building. So I definitely see this as a facility where the campus has put together here for not only its employees, its students, but also to serve this neighborhood, which is why we're going to place it down here at the bottom of this hill. And conveniently, conveniently in front of a tram stop I had just put in. It's almost as if this is where it's been planned to go. But let's have a look at a few different assets that we could place here. I've downloaded a number from the workshop. So we're going to come in here. We have a modern clinic. Let's see, what else do we have here that is of interest? We have this local clinic. We also have this New Zealand Healthcare Department. And as well, we have this Health Professional Center. Let's get a better look at these. So they're all nice. You know, definitely could see this being part of a small community, nice rural area, or, you know, maybe in a suburban area. Same with this one that's kind of slightly being overshadowed by this larger building next to it, which is technically a hospital. And I believe this one's based on, yeah, New Zealand Healthcare. And then we've got this other one here, very retro looking. Yes, problems. We all have problems. I get it. So let's pause the game so we don't get people too upset. So we can pick one of these 4 assets, and considering, as I've just mentioned, this is not just for the college and the campus, it's students, it's employees, but also the community behind us here. I think we're going to go with this one. So let's get rid of these other 3. There we go. Let's get rid of them. But we're not just going to plop it, because we could say, here you go, tram stop, hop on, get into the hospital, you know, which I'm sure some people will be very happy with, but not me. So let's just move this out of the way for now. In fact, we'll notionally place it. We're notionally going to have it sitting back here. So let's come into our roads. We're going to start the 2-lane road with trees. Come up 7. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come into our park plaza, because in front of this area, we're going to put 2 little plaza areas. We'll come back into our roads, and we're going to do a 1-way road with trees coming out. Now we will have to come back and reverse this. And we will now put in our parking lot. But we will have this main road coming across here as a parking lot road to frame that all nice. And we'll clean this up a bit, and we'll move this so this looks like one consistent park area. There we go. I think that works quite well. So you could definitely see the fact that either you're waiting for somebody who's been, say, in an emergency or being treated, you want to come out, or the fact that you are a patient and you want to come out and get some fresh air. You have this collection or this area to come out and enjoy. We will look to put one in the back here as well, or something a little later. But the tram, you know, as much as it might be great for some people, is not going to be great for a lot of people. So let's come out here. We'll go 12. And we will make sure we turn off snapping and bending. We're going to put in a series of parking lots as things jitter here. Oh, because I'd probably be happy. I guess I do need to put snapping on. And we want a 4th one. Yeah, I think that works. So we will do a little adjustment because things are a little off and they don't look too good here. So let's move all these together. Let me just quickly get these all in place. Now that we have them all smushed together, we're going to come in and we're going to pull these down until they find a home. There we go. That looks pretty good. So this will be a parking area that will service, obviously, the hospital here, patients, employees, and the like. Hopefully not as a park and ride. That would be bad. So, but there's not much we can do about that in this game. So let's get some water in here. We'll come down here. Make people very happy for now. And we're going to have to figure out a way. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out a way to get the power. Why are you not happy, Mr. Road? Let's maybe move you a little closer. You should be actually here. So I just had to get him a little closer, and which is fine. If you look here, we've got this nice little overhang detail, which we'll pull that up. But if you notice, like if we pull it back, it's just a little too far away. But if we get him close enough, the road issue goes away. Now, funny enough, I'm not sure exactly what this plaza is really calling for power. Because I believe that these poles here, street lights, are for the street and not for this. But nonetheless, these must be artificial trees and require power. So let's have a look. We do need to get our power to jump. So let's have a think about what we could put here besides, you know, just a big transmission line to get something a little more natural. So I did have a little bit of a think, and what I want to do is going to be a slightly bigger project. So for now, we are going to run just a simple power line. And what we'll do to keep this out of the way... no. Okay, I was thinking about running along here. I don't want to do that. We will do the very simplistic move of running a power line along the road, which connects all the power up. And that's because we're not really looking to build in this area. You know, it's a sloped area, you know, and the houses and the buildings don't conform very well. But I have an idea to kind of make this a very useful spot in a future episode and eventually connect things over here. So that's not for today. So let's get back to our hospital build. Before we get to a quick detailing time lapse, we are going to come into here and we are going to use our no controller. We will turn off, not that one, should look at the color. We want to turn off this blue one. The rest we'll keep on, but I do want to spread this out, make things a tad easier. Let's do 13. Yeah, 13 works. We'll come over here. We will turn off all the markings. We'll make this one 13 as well while we're at it. We're going to come in next to TMPE, and we will make sure we do have traffic. Let's see here. What makes sense? Yeah, that's definitely, want that to be through traffic. I think we can leave that for like that for now. Huh. I thought we got our electricity to jump. There we go. It's just a moment behind. Perfect. So with that, we will jump into a quick detailing time lapse, and we'll be right back. We have finished up all our detailing for this episode, and I think things have really come together. I really like this little area too in front of the church, and we've got more detailing in this area that we'll be doing in a future episode to blend things in. I do really hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please leave a comment down below. And if you have any feedback, please do let me know. I'd very much appreciate it. And with that, we'll leave you with a cinematic outro. Until next time, bye for now.